And right now, Northside ISD teachers are getting ready for the first day of classes. This is a live look from its new teacher academy. So they kicked off things around 8 this morning, and NISD tells us that 750 brand new or new to the district teachers are attending 2 days of orientation. And just a reminder that classes start for Northside ISD on August 19th. And we want to remind you that we are continuing our Educator of the Month nominations this upcoming school year. So each month, one special educator will be recognized for the work he or she does and will receive a $500 Visa gift card from First Mark Credit Union. So just scan that QR code on your screen right now to nominate your favorite educator for a chance to win. And this isn't just for teachers. It could be anyone who's making a difference at your school.
My sweet child, he is ready to go this morning, like almost peace out at the door, Mom, but I still like to bring him in. There's so many happy faces, so many smiles around the campus this morning.
And Lavernia ISD getting this school year underway. The district welcomed students for the first day of classes today. And some student athletes were back at it again as well, practicing bright and early today. Well, maybe not so bright. So check it out. When the clock hit midnight, high school football was officially underway, and some athletes wasted no time. Our photojournalist Mark Mendez was at Holy Cross to catch the Knights as they hit the field for the first time. Then Mark headed out to Lytle as the Pirates took some snaps. And while most of us were sleeping, these guys were hard at work preparing for the 2024 season. And let's look out there with live cam. Things quickly heating up this morning. Already at 89 degrees, Sarah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be August in San Antonio without a bit of heat. Just watching kids going back to school. Yeah, I remember that really well here in San Antonio, especially those outdoor practices. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now with live cam, and you can see that temperatures are steadily rising as we've got a few puffy cumulus out there. It's 91, but it already feels like 97. We've got some relatively high humidity out there. Winds are variable at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For the rest of the day, here's what you can expect. Mostly sunny and then a high of 98, but that 98 is going to feel more like 102. As we head into this evening, temperatures will be falling into the 80s by midnight. Should be a nice evening outside. Not too breezy and not too humid in the evening hours. So pretty nice in the evening. Here's the thing though, that 98, it's actually going to be the quote-unquote coolest we're going to be for most of the week. We've been kind of spoiled. Technically, we've had 30 days without 100 degrees at the airport. The last time, July 6th, where we hit 100 officially at the San Antonio International Airport. But this nice streak is going to end as we continue this week. I'll show you how toasty it's going to get. And of course, we've got to take a check on the tropics. If you've got interests in Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, or even if you're going to be traveling across the nation this week, you're going to want to stick around for this update on what is now Tropical Storm Debby. Stephanie.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Well, now to an update this noon, a man accused of stabbing and killing another man back in 2021 accepted a plea deal today. Sebastian Hernandez is charged with the murder of Christopher Olivares. Now, Olivares was found dead in his home, and security footage later helped police in identifying Hernandez as the suspect. Now, in court this morning, he pleaded no contest and will be back on October 1st to officially be sentenced. The maximum he can now get is 32 years in prison. Erica Hernandez will have more on this case and the terms of the plea deal later this afternoon. Now, a man on trial for allegedly causing a fatal car crash back in 2022 will learn if he is guilty or not guilty of manslaughter today. Alexander Castro is accused of speeding into traffic and hitting 2 vehicles. One of the drivers of those vehicles, 24-year-old Alexandra Siebert, was killed. And right now, closing arguments are taking place, and then a jury will deliberate. Now, he faces up to 20 years in prison if found guilty. Services to remember a female deputy who died in a wrong-way crash are scheduled for today. Bexar County Sheriff's Deputy Meredith Portillo lost her life back on July 21st after a pickup truck driver crashed into her Ford Mustang on Interstate 37. Now, police said the driver of that pickup was a 28-year-old man who died at the scene. A public viewing followed by a rosary for Portillo scheduled for today at Mission Park Funeral Chapel South from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And tomorrow, The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is hosting a memorial service for Portillo at 10 a.m. at Cornerstone Church. Portillo was 20 years old. Well, a Spurs legend is sharing an incredible story how some wearable tech helped alert him to a serious medical condition. And a group of San Antonio students are ready to step into their classrooms in style this back-to-school season, and they scored the new kicks for free, while a local organization says something as simple as a pair of shoes can have a big impact. Well, new this noon, about 28 children have fresh new kicks for the new school year, and they got them for free. So the group of children currently live at the Salvation Army's Emergency Family Shelter. And today, AJ Shoes on the city's south side outfitted them with new shoes. Kids were even allowed to pick out their favorite pair. The Salvation Army says it helps children start the school year on the right foot.
It feels good to be able to do this. Thanks to the support we get from our community, we're able to do things like this to support kids right here in San Antonio. And it feels so good because oftentimes, you hear sad stories about school started, you look around the room, everybody had a new pair of shoes, and then, there's maybe one kid that didn't have a new pair of shoes. So we want to make sure that the kids in our shelter, they're not left out, and it gives them confidence, going through the school year.
Well, the shoe shopping spree happens every year. And again, it's back to school season, so getting your students ready for the new school year is a lot easier said than done. And if you do need help with those supplies, you have options. You can scan that QR code right there on the bottom of your screen right now. And we have a story on KSAT.com listing back to school events and giveaways happening now until your child's first day of school. So there are dozens around town happening. All that information is on our website right now.
Here's a live look out at Florida, and you can see that we're dealing with areas out in Florida that have been experiencing what was Hurricane Debby, made landfall in the bend of Florida earlier this morning. Now a tropical storm, so it has weakened substantially, but the risk for Debby is going to be rains as it stalls on shore. We'll talk more about that coming up in a bit, but first I want to show you the pollen count. Molds, fall elm, and grass are present, but they're in low amounts, so that's some good news. And as we take a look at the aquifer, not great news. The aquifer is down another 0.3 of a foot over the past 24 hours. In spite of our recent rains in July, the aquifer is still quite a bit below the average. All right, we're about to enter our hottest stretch of the summer yet. Not ridiculously hot, but hot enough that you'll notice it and need to take your safety precautions from the heat. And say goodbye to the rain. I'll give you an update on Debby in just a bit. Another 10 to 20 inches of rainfall expected across parts of the Atlantic coast.
Well, Debby made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane in the Big Bend of Florida's Gulf Coast this morning, bringing a life-threatening storm surge and major flooding to some parts of the state. Now, hundreds of thousands of customers are without power as extreme conditions continue. Now, places like Georgia and South Carolina are also expecting to feel the impacts. ABC's Faith Abube is on the ground in Lake City with a look at the latest.
Whipping winds, heavy rain, and life-threatening storm surge hitting the Big Bend of Florida's Gulf Coast. Debby tearing into the state as a Category 1 hurricane. The storm making landfall near Stanahatchee, Florida, just before 7 this morning. Michael Palaska from ABC affiliate WFTS in Tampa in the thick of it.
This is Cross City in Dixie County. We're about 20 miles from the coast, and we're now in the eye wall of Hurricane Debby. We're just now starting to see this finally come in from the southeast with all of these bands and stinging rain.
Some areas already seeing flooding. This street turned into a river. Firefighters wading through to make a rescue. In Cedar Key, another home flooded. You can see waves crashing onto the shore. Even further south in Cape Coral, this residential street flooded, a car partially submerged. Evacuation orders in place for people who are in low-lying, flood-prone areas, some going to shelters. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis says 3,000 members of the National Guard are prepared to respond, and search and rescue teams are ready to go.
Sometimes these roads can be very, very hazardous. We do anticipate a lot of water continue to be dropped with this storm, and this is just something that people are going to have to be very, very aware of.
The Coast Guard also making a rescue off the coast of Boca Grande as Debby was making its way in. Air crews saving 2 boaters who had been missing since Saturday.
And Hurricane Debby is expected to slow down over the next several days, potentially causing historic flooding. NOAA has issued a rare high risk for extreme flooding for Florida, South Carolina, and Georgia over the next couple of days. Faith Abube, ABC News, Lake City, Florida.
And I'm going to show you those rainfall potential totals coming up here in just a bit. But it's a good reminder that even though we're in the middle of summer is also hurricane season. Yeah. And oftentimes here in San Antonio, you know, we can end up benefiting from a tropical system because we get some more rains. I mean, we had a pretty good July for us, rainfall-wise.
Nice break.
Yeah, but all good things come to an end, don't they? And we are in for a bit of a heat wave here in San Antonio. Nothing too hot. But definitely hot enough to where you're going to want to take those usual heat precautions, especially as those kids head back to school. Hey, it's 91 in San Antonio, but it feels like 97. 93 in New Braunfels, feeling like 102. 92 in Del Rio, feeling like 99. And winds are generally variable at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so they're kind of switching directions. So as you look at the rest of your afternoon today, if you're heading out and about, the car's AC is going to be on max because we're going to be climbing to about 98. But feeling like 102. As we head into this evening, not too bad. It won't be too breezy. It really won't be all that humid too this evening. So if you're planning on getting some exercise in the evening hours, going for that evening walk, it should be pretty okay out there with temperatures in the 80s. All right, but what I'm showing you here is that we're going to be in for a stretch where the temperature is likely going to be at 100 or greater. Now notice the average. We are going to get about 5 degrees hotter than average by Thursday, Friday. It's not just the heat, it's also the humidity. Now, the good news is during the peak heat of the day, humidity will actually be its lowest. But until then, so the peak heat is right around 5 o'clock. So by about 1, 2 o'clock, it's still going to be pretty humid in the afternoons. And so this is the peak heat index as we're heading into this week. It could feel up to 105, 107 by the end of the week as well. So just be mindful of that. Of course, let's talk about what is now Tropical Storm Debby. Debby made landfall as a hurricane, but has since weakened over land. It's bringing a lot of rain to areas in Florida and Georgia. But honestly, this is just the start of the rainfall because like Hurricane Harvey several years ago, Debby is expected to slow down and just meander across parts of the southeast coast. So when we take a look at the potential rainfall in some of these areas in Georgia, Carolinas, we're looking at 12 to 15 to even 20 inches of rain. How could this affect you here in San Antonio? Of course, some of us have family across these areas, but here in San Antonio, if you're planning on traveling across the nation, there will probably be some delays from Debby through about the end of the week. So impressive rainfall totals coming from Debby here in the coming days. As we take a look toward Texas, though, opposite story. We're really not in for any major rain at all over the next several days in San Antonio. It's all because of this heat high. The heat high, think about it like a big magnifying glass. Remember when you were a kid and the ants, you would use a magnifying glass on the ants? Well, we're the ants in Texas this week. We're getting burned by that heat high. Temperatures will be climbing in the afternoons, and that's going to keep us dry because high means dry as well. So we're really looking at a typical summery pattern here in San Antonio. When that heat high is directly overhead Thursday, Friday, all of Texas is going to be sizzling. In fact, here in San Antonio, our high is going to be 102, but it's actually going to be hotter up in parts of North Texas. Abilene at 108, Dallas at 105, 108 in Wichita Falls. So it's going to be hot, but it's not going to be as hot as some areas across Texas. So just buckle in for a stretch here of triple-digit heat. We'll be monitoring the tropics too, because beyond 7 days, there's the potential that we could have additional development in the Atlantic. I'll be talking a little bit more about that coming up in the next half hour of the noon show here. But Stephanie, how do you keep cool when it's hot like this? Like, how do you keep your daughter cool when it's hot like this? She's going back to school soon.
Yes, lots of water. I just, recommend, well, I guess like for parents, we take umbrellas out when we pick up our
There
kids.
you go.
When we walk our kids back, at least we're not, in the direct sunlight.
It is really bad whenever you're going to the grocery store, things like that on that hot out.
Just the parking lot. We just kind of prepare for it, It's just like, okay, AC off, into the store.
That's true.
Thank you. Well, we are going to be checking in right now with Fiona. And how is it going over there at SA Live?
Well, summer is wrapping up, right? Kids are about to go back to school. And so we were talking this morning, what's the coolest thing you have done this summer? Now, it can be a trip, it could be a staycation, it could be anything at all. It could be you got something major done. What is it for you guys?
Or you mean cool like like staying cool?
Staying inside, just, yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, I don't know. The coolest thing I know this might sound funny, but the coolest thing for me this summer is the fact that the temperatures were kind of lower this summer.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we had some nice cloud cover, maybe not rain every day, but for a good portion there we got some rain. So that will be something that I will remember about this summer.
And to just go ahead and piggyback off of that, my coolest thing is forecasting those days. We had 4 to 5 days in a row in July where we had measurable rain in San Antonio. That just doesn't happen that often in July, Fiona.
Yeah, you keep us cool.
You keep us cool.
I will take credit for the good, and I will not take blame for the heat.
We're not going to blame you for that heat. We know.
And now, coming up on the show, I'm just going to let you guys take a look at these incredible sandwiches. Oh yes, we're getting excited for that most important meal of the day, and we are going to tell you about these Texas-sized creations. All that and more when SA Live continues from Historic Market Square.
Looking forward to it.
Good.
Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you. Well, he was a major part of the Spurs lineup, and now Sean Elliott is using his platform to help others learn about a heart condition. And we did talk about high school football practice kicking off at the top of the show, and our KSAT Pigskin Classic is also back this year. However, we are switching gears. There will be only one game, and it's going to be at Bernie at Piper. Thursday, August 29th at 7 p.m. And if you can't make it out, don't worry. You can watch all the action live here on KSAT 12. There's more information about the KSAT Pigskin Classic on the big game coverage page of our website, ksat.com. And from the Memorial Day miracle to the first Spurs championship, Sean Elliott won the hearts of fans during his playing and broadcasting days in the Alamo City. But his recent heart scare had his fans talking and sharing their concern for the Spurs legend. Now, Sean met with our RJ Marcus to discuss his recent procedure to shock his heart back to rhythm and shared a message he has for his fans and those who have questions about atrial fibrillation.
My watch kept telling me you're in atrial fibrillation. They just kept telling me over and over again. And I said, there's no way, I feel fine. And
that's how Spurs great Sean Elliott learned that he was suffering from an irregular heartbeat.
Thank goodness I was wearing my watch, because imagine going a month or two with AFib and not knowing it, because it wasn't going away once it was diagnosed.
Elliott said that he felt fine, but his Apple Watch just kept warning him that something was wrong.
4 or 5 days, it just blew it off. But one morning, it just was really adamant and told me 2 or 3 times. And I said, okay, I'm going to call Dr. Triana.
His longtime cardiologist, Dr. Fernando Triana from Methodist Hospital, told Sean that he needed to see him immediately.
AFib is probably the most common irregularity of the heartbeat in the United States. Probably 8 to 9 million Americans live with chronic atrial fibrillation.
Symptoms for AFib include chest pain, dizziness, fatigue, and shortness of breath. Now, Sean told us that he wasn't feeling any of these, but not treating the condition could lead to serious problems and blood clots.
Once the blood clot is formed in that chamber, it goes into the other chambers of the heart, and it has the possibility of traveling to the body.
Elliot went to the hospital and had a successful procedure called a cardioversion to get his heart back into rhythm. And get this, Dr. Triana's daughter, Dr. Taylor Triana, did the procedure, making this a family affair.
And if there's no blood clot, we then proceed with a cardioversion. The whole procedure takes about 30 minutes, and then we monitor them in recovery for about another 30 minutes. After that, the patient can go home.
Sean was good to go. His wife Claudia posted the good news on Instagram, and he received a ton of messages on his watch nonetheless from friends, family, and his NBA colleagues.
And I was home that night. At the end of that reel, my wife Claudia is bringing me a big giant plate of chicken because I wasn't allowed to eat all day and I was starving. And so I was back to normal. I played golf the next day.
Why was it important for you to sit down with us and talk about this as well?
I trust medical science. Obviously with a kidney transplant, I'm living, breathing proof of what medical technology can do for you. Stay on top of it. Go get yourself checked, or make sure you're not an AFib like I was. Again, I had absolutely no idea.
Sean says that he's already back on the golf course and ready to go back to the Spurs broadcast booth.
I'm just thrilled to be healthy right now and really looking forward to next year because there are going to be great things to come. I promise you that.
Again, thank you, RJ, for that story. So Team USA came to win. So check out the medal count right now. The U.S. is still in the lead right now with a total of 75 medals. Now 19 of those are gold. China is in second place right now with 52 medals, with 21 gold medals, and then they beat Team USA in the swimming medley. First time that has happened. France is in a third place, and Wimby versus Team Canada in the hoops tomorrow, and Great Britain is in fourth. So Noah Lyles won the gold in the men's 100-meter race, first American to win in 20 years. And it wasn't the only notable moment of the event. A San Antonio native was in the middle of all the action. Fred Curley scored a bronze medal. This is the second time all individual medal in the 100-meter final. You can read more about the race on our website, KSAT.com. Well, the fight to protect the Edwards Aquifer from possible pollution is moving forward in Austin this month. The issue is around the Guajolote Ranch property located about 2 miles north of Gray Forest. An interested developer is asking the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to grant it a wastewater plant permit. Now, this is a story that we have been following for several summers now. Our Patty Santos has been keeping a close watch on the developments.
So it goes we have asked to contest the permit for the wastewater plant.
This month, we're closer to finding out the answer to that request. Behind the fight is the nonprofit, the Greater Edwards Aquifer Alliance, representing hundreds of property owners. They are asking the state for a special hearing to explain why the permit should be denied. The property is about 5 miles north of Helotes. Leonard Homes has plans to build a subdivision with thousands of homes, but it needs a wastewater plant and permission by the TCEQ to dump millions of gallons of treated wastewater into the Helotes Creek. The creek is in the recharge zone for the Trinity Glen Rose Aquifer and the Edwards Aquifer contributing zone near the recharge zone. Opponents argue that any pollution that enters our water system could impact all of us.
We would like to see more conservation easements purchased. I mean, the city has done a lot, but according to the studies, the threat of high-density subdivisions and the threat from wastewater and polluted stormwater is still very real for the Edwards, so we've got some more work to do in order to protect our water supply.
On August 14th, the TCEQ Commission will meet in Austin to hear the request by the developer for the permit and the request by those opposing it in what's known as a contested hearing. The Guajolote Ranch property is owned by the Huntress family. The meeting is at 9:30 a.m. The public can listen in but will not be allowed to comment. You can listen into the meeting. We will post the link on KSAT.com. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Well, it is important to point out that the purchase of the property by Lennar Homes is pending this permit being granted. So this is not a done deal and no work has started on the property. Let's look out there with live cam. Not too bad at 89 degrees, but I know those temperatures are just creeping up.
They are, and if you look at live cam a little bit clearer here, you can see that those clouds are popping up, but they're not really growing tall. In order to get rain, we need those clouds to grow tall, and that's just not going to happen today. In fact, we call the kind of clouds that are developing out there fair weather cumulus clouds. And what's really cool is in space, you can kind of see each individual cloud. So take a look at your screen. This is a look at the satellite imagery, and you can see each individual cloud starting to form here across the hill country and in San Antonio. It kind of looks like popcorn on your map there. So again, fair weather cumulus clouds, they look pretty, but they're not going to produce any rain for us. In fact, it's just really hot out there. Here's a look at the current heat index. Feels like 102 in Canyon Lake, feels like 102 in New Braunfels, 102 in Floresville, and it feels like 97 here in San Antonio. Not too bad in the higher elevations of the hill country, but still definitely toasty. All right, here's a look at the rest of your forecast for the day. It's going to get up to 98, feeling like 102. And if you think 98 is hot, just you wait until the rest of this week's forecast. 98 is actually going to be quote unquote cool compared to the rest of the week. Your details ahead. Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, CrowdStrike is firing back at Delta after the airline CEO lashed out at the cybersecurity firm for costing it hundreds of millions of dollars. A CrowdStrike flawed software update on July 19th caused widespread computer outages at Delta and hundreds of other companies around the globe. Delta is threatening public litigation and accuses CrowdStrike of not helping during the meltdown. However, CrowdStrike says Delta ignored its offers of assistance while other airlines were able to restore operations faster. Meanwhile, Delta was forced to cancel about 30% of its schedule over 5 days, stranding about 500,000 passengers. Well, new homes are trending smaller with home builders focusing on first-time buyers. In 2023, the median single-family home built was just over 2,200 square feet. Now that's down 9% from the 2015 peak size. Over that time, many formal dining rooms and, quote, bonus rooms disappeared. So earlier this year, America's largest home builder said it planned to reduce the size of its home to address affordability for home buyers. Well, as gas prices go up and down, here's something to think about the next time you're at the pump. Our Daphne Gray with why where you fill up impacts your wallet and the performance of your engine.
Whether you're taking a summer road trip, going to work, or just running errands, you want your car up to speed. And according to automotive experts at Consumer Reports, it all starts at the pump.
When choosing where to fill up next, we recommend top-tier gas.
So what does top-tier gas mean? Well, Jeff Bartlett works at Consumer Reports Auto Test Center, where they buy, test, and rate more than 50 cars, trucks, and SUVs every year. So CR goes through a lot of gas.
Top-tier gas is held to a higher standard through a voluntary agreement from major gas brands. You can find it at stations from Exxon, Mobil, Shell, Chevron, and Costco.
AAA analyzed top-tier gasoline and found that it better protects newer engines from carbon buildup and deposits on the intake valves, which gives you better performance and fuel economy. While top-tier gas may cost a little more than fuel from discount brands, research points to it being worth the investment. But it's not the only way to get the most out of your tank. To save money, check your owner's manual. Unless it requires premium fuel, skip it. And staying at half a tank or more is also beneficial.
When on a road trip, make sure you keep your gas tank at least half full, because you never know if you're going to encounter congested roads or slow-moving traffic.
Check prices online. Apps and websites such as Gas Buddy show local gas prices, making it easy to find the best prices in your area or if you need to travel. And always follow speed limits and drive smoothly. Your driving habits can significantly affect gas mileage, which in turn costs you money.
Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with top VP contenders this weekend. I'm Jay O'Brien in Washington. Who she met with and when she might make her announcement.
Well, Bexar County deputies need your help finding a missing teenager. Jaden Camille Nance is 16 years old and was last seen on Saturday morning on New World Drive near Crestway Road in the northeast side. She was wearing a beige zip-up hoodie and some blue jeans, and she does have conditions that require medical attention. So if you see her or if you know where she is, you are asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. That number is on your screen right now, and it'll also be posted up on our website, KSAT.com. San Antonio police say a 12-year-old girl is in critical condition after she was thrown from the car she was riding in during an overnight wreck. Now, the crash happened just before 11 p.m. last night near the intersection of I-37 and Southeast Military Drive. Police say a teenage boy was driving that car when it went off the exit into some grass. The car hit the fence line of an apartment complex and rolled over. The girl was ejected, and police say she landed on top of a parked SUV in the apartment complex parking lot. The driver and passenger were not wearing seatbelts. The girl was taken to the hospital, and the driver is with police. And jumping immediately into action, a West Side man tried to save his elderly neighbor in a fire Saturday on South Smith off of Guadalupe Street. Though he wasn't able to pull him out in time, he tells our Garrett Berringer he's glad he tried.
I came this way, he came this way.
Daniel Soto was bringing his animals in when another man in their cluster of threeplex and duplexes pointed to the smoke coming out of the window of another unit where their 81-year-old lived.
And we said, let's touch it. It was hot. And then, I don't know if I did or the gentleman did, we broke the window and that smoke came out. And we said, oh no.
Soto said his elderly neighbor, who has not been officially identified, had health problems. When they saw the smoke, someone else grabbed an axe and they went at the door. Once it was open, they couldn't see through the smoke, but Soto knew the older man slept near the entrance.
The smoke went up and we tried to grab the bed and we grabbed the mattress and the bed and feel for his legs. So I grabbed it, and this other gentleman grabbed the other side, and we just pulled him out. He landed right there.
Despite the bravery of Soto and his neighbor, the man inside the home had already died when they pulled him out. The San Antonio Fire Department said a mattress had been on fire.
Even though you weren't able to save him, are you glad you tried?
Oh, yes. Anybody would do that.
Soto said the man had been living there when he moved in 3 years ago. Though he'd been coming out less, Soto believes, because of his health.
But I sympathize with the family because, yes, we all knew we have to go, but not this way.
Arson investigators are still trying to determine what caused the fire. Garrett Berringer, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's look out there with live cam this afternoon. Yes, things are heating up, so it's going to be nice and toasty when the kiddos from La Vernia ISD get out of school this afternoon.
Oh my goodness, they're one of the first ones that started locally, so we wish them good luck with all this heat. But let's start on a positive note. Pollen count is not so bad. You can see we've got mold, fall elm, and grass. They're there, but they're all low. And also, remember how last week we were dealing with Saharan dust? That's not the case this week. The aquifer, though, is down 0.3 of a foot over the past 24 hours. It's more than 20 feet below the average for the month. So in spite of all the rain we got in July, we could use some more rainfall, but unfortunately, that's just not in the cards this week. It is going to be a dry and hot week. But coming up in the forecast, I'm going to show you how toasty it'll be. We'll take a look at the tropics. Yes, Tropical Storm Debby, but then there's another area in the Atlantic that we're going to be watching closely over the next few days. Details on that coming up in just a bit. Well, welcome back to the news at noon. All right, I want to show you something, okay? It's going to be hot this week, no doubt. But take a look at this time last year. This was a look at last year's high temperatures at this time of year, from August 5th to August 11th. Every single day, we were dealing with record-setting high temperatures. Every single day, for 8 days in a row, we were dealing with record-setting high temperatures. Now, this is the forecast for this week. And yes, it is going to get hot, no doubt about it. We're going to be up to 102. On the 8th and on the 9th. But compared to last year, that's still quite a bit cooler, especially by the weekend. Last year, we were dealing with highs of 106, and over the weekend, our highs are going to be some 5 to 7 degrees cooler than that. So it's absolutely going to be hot. You want to take care of yourself. You want to take care of your kids. But we've had a much better summer than what we were dealing with last year at this time. And again, July was pretty good to us rainfall and temperature wise. But it's hot out there this afternoon. Take a look at these feel like temperatures. It feels like 97 in San Antonio. It feels like 100 in Pleasanton, 100 in Gonzales. And it feels like it's close to 106 out in Victoria, closer to the coast. And so that's what we're going to be dealing with for the remainder of this afternoon. Just a toasty forecast. 98 for the high, feeling like 102. Winds are going to not be too strong. We'll have a wind from the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That means this evening, if you're planning on going for your evening walk, taking your dogs out for a walk, it should be okay. Temperatures will be in the 80s and humidity will be relatively low in the evening hours. So not too bad. But yeah, that heat high is here and it's here to stay in the coming days. That's one of the reasons why we're going to be dealing with triple-digit temperatures. It's the first time we've had a triple-digit temperature streak since early July, and that heat high has been kept at bay, but that will not be the case over the coming days. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Tropical Storm Debby. Now, Debby made landfall as a hurricane, a Category 1 hurricane along the Big Bend here of Florida. It's been moving on shore, bringing a lot of heavier rain to areas like Gainesville, Jacksonville, and parts of southern Florida. But Debby is expected to kind of stall out in the next couple of days, still as a tropical storm, bringing a lot of rain to areas in Georgia, the Carolinas, and even up closer to Washington, D.C. by Friday. So it's really not going to move all that much over the next couple of days, just dropping a ton of rain. After all, hurricanes, tropical storms, they pretty much pick up the ocean and put it on the land. That's how much water we've got in parts of Debby. And you can see here's a look at the potential rainfall from Debby in the coming days. Some areas are predicted to get up to 15 to 20 inches of rain near Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina. This is going to be potentially record flooding for those areas in the coming days. Why does that matter to us here in San Antonio? Well, of course, a lot of people have family in these areas, but then also, if you're planning on traveling in the next several days, just know that that could cause some delays. All right, taking a look at the tropics, there's another area we're watching out near the Windward Islands. This area has a 30% chance of development into a tropical depression or greater in the coming days, and then potentially it could move into the Bay of Campeche and even the Gulf of Mexico. So we will keep you posted. The next system to get a name in the Atlantic would be Ernesto. So that would be the next name there. We'll keep you posted on that, of course. As for our weather here in San Antonio, going to be pretty hot. Temperatures close to 100 degrees every single day, even a little bit hotter, and very little to no chance for rain in the next 7 days. Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris is in crunch time to pick her running mate with an announcement expected any day now. ABC's Jay O'Brien reports she met with top contenders over the weekend while her opponent, former President Donald Trump, held a rally in the key swing state of Georgia.
Vice President Kamala Harris zeroing in on picking a running mate. Sources tell ABC News Harris met one-on-one this weekend at her residence in Washington with top contenders, including Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro.
Do you expect Kamala Harris to ask you to run with her, considering all your success here, sir?
I think that's a question for the vice president.
An announcement expected before tomorrow night, when Harris and her VP pick will hold a rally in Pennsylvania and then blitz a series of other battleground states. Recent polls showing Harris now running better against Trump in those key states than Biden.
We have seen real momentum for Vice President Harris, and it is transferring into the places where the election is most likely to be decided. This is where Joe Biden stood at the day he dropped out. You see momentum for Harris in every single one of the major battleground states, including the big three: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, instrumental in that Democratic effort to convince President Biden not to run, today telling George Stephanopoulos on GMA she didn't believe the president could win.
I was asking for a campaign that would win. And I wasn't seeing that on the horizon.
And we're going to defeat crazy Kamala.
Meantime, former President Donald Trump rallying supporters in Atlanta this weekend, trying to sharpen his attacks on Harris 92 days out from Election Day.
So we have to work hard to define her. I don't want to even define her.
All of it comes as the Trump campaign has doubled down on falsely questioning the vice president's race, even as fellow Republicans like Lindsey Graham have publicly warned Trump to stay away from personal attacks and focus on the issues. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Hi, welcome back. Well, we are going to check back with Fiona out at SA Live, and they got a lot of wonderful looking sandwiches over there, Fiona.
Oh, yes. Feast your eyes on these right here. Yes, the important meal of the day is getting a Texas-sized twist, and it's from this guy right here, Chef Mike Nguyen, owner of Brekkie. And you've got a way for folks to kind of up their egg game, right?
Absolutely.
And what is that?
So the key is low and slow, right? With butter, and then do not add salt to it right away.
Why?
When you put the salt in, what does it do? It pulls moisture out. So it gets your bread soggy. It makes everything, all the liquid comes out. It also turns your eggs green and hard. So what you want to do is you want to season at the very last second.
Perfect. All right, we're going to show you some more of those sandwiches in just a bit. But this Wednesday is National Purple Heart Day, and Jen is out live. Hey there, Jen.
That's right, we're here at Compadres Hill Country Cocina in Bernie. I've got Chef Mark Sierra here, and it's a big day coming up on Wednesday. This is where the Purple Heart Project originated here with you, right?
It began here in this little eatery. We had about 9 recipients that we honored that evening, and literally it was just supposed to be like a little steak night that evening, and then it turned into what you see, what it is today.
So it has continued to grow. Now, a little bit later in the show, we're going to chat with a few people, including one Bernie resident right here. Goldberg, are you excited?
I'm over the moon. Are you kidding me? Anytime that Mark picks up the phone and asks me to come down and do anything with the Purple Heart Foundation, it's a given. So, yes, and I'm going to be surprised, I guess.
All right. Well, we have more from Compadres. Back to you, Fiona.
All right. Well, we are, of course, taking care of our skin this summer. We are also going to be talking with Grape Creek Vineyards, okay, and showing you how you can sample their wine. But Tiffany Phillips, of course, Simply Tips, give us one way vitamin C is great for your skin.
It reduces those free radicals to help with the aging effects that you might have, and we are going to be talking.
And again, this is what we're used to this time of year. Take a look at this heat. Again, temperatures over 100 degrees in San Antonio in the coming days. We knew that July, that rain, those cooler temperatures, they weren't going to last forever.
Aww.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
As long as we can get some more rain, maybe by the end of August into September, you know, it's not all doom and gloom here, but it is going to be hot. So please take care of yourself. Make sure to drink a lot of water. This time of year, I'm meteorologist mom. Sunscreen and water, kids.
Yes, plenty of water, especially with the start of school.
Yeah.
And SA Live starts right now.
There was an old man that came by the other day while we were painting, and he just kind of stood and looked at it for a while, and I was watching him. I went and asked him, I was like, hey, what are you thinking about over there? And he's like, I love this. He goes, it makes me feel young again.
Adding some color to the Alamo City, we meet the man behind this larger-than-life display and the mission behind it.